What's going on, guys? I'm back with another review. This is one of the fun cars I get to review. So what I have behind me is a 2020 Camaro SS. And if you look at it right now, you can definitely tell it is not your stock Camaro SS. This is in different colors. This is in Hertz edition. Now, if you're familiar, Hertz used to always do special edition Mustangs in the past. You know, their Shelbys and GT Mustangs. So this is the first time I think Hertz have done special edition Camaros. I'll also have tried out their Z06 Corvette. So it's nice to get behind the wheel of this Camaro SS. It's very fun to drive. I like the aesthetic modifications that are done, such as this chin spoiler. It's got a special edition, wheels. It's got graphics going down the car, the stripes. It really attracts a lot of attention, and this car just looks so menacing going down the road. It's got the yellow brake calipers, and this car was done by Hendrick Motorsports. They have two editions. Now, this is the SS, and the power's been bumped up. So right now the power we're looking at is 480 horsepower from their from a cold air intake and aftermarket exhaust system. Now, there's another addition to this, and I really wanted to rent this car. However, the mileage restrictions from where I was renting it from, because I'm in North Carolina, wouldn't allow me to drive the car distance that I was going to go. Basically, there's ZL1. Now, the ZL1 on this car from the Hertz has a upgraded supercharger. So instead of the 650 horsepower I believe it's pushing out, it's 750 horsepower. So, like I said, I really wanted to try that one out, and I may just do it, another time. Is just do like a 1 day local rental, stay within the area, just so I can try the car out and get the mileage. But let's go around the car. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Like I said, I mentioned the special ground effects, the wheels. It's got 24 on it. I'm assuming it's from Jeff Gordon. His number, nameplates. You see it all around. It's got the Recaro seats, number plates on the embroidered in the headrests, and of course the yellow trim goes out throughout the interior. So like I said, and of course has all your features. I'm not sure which trim this car is, but has a lot of features: Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's got forward collision warning, backup camera, rear parking sensors, heated seats, ventilated seats, heads-up display. This is a rental, but see, there's your key, and lock the car, unlock, press it again. And you can see, look at this Hertz embroidered just throughout here. It's got the yellow trim, and I'm not sure if this is factory or not. I think this is special just for this particular car. Aluminum racing pedals. Number 24 again. See the Recaro seats. These seats are extremely supportive. Very, very nice lateral support. It's nice to do a Camaro on this channel. So I did the Challenger, did the Mustang. So it's nice to get through this. And let's go here in even a trunk room. They continue throughout inside as well. This was number 48 out of 200. Alright, so this car's push button start. So you got a start button here. Start the car, put it on the brake, and start the car. Okay, just do a full sweep. And this has a nice little bark to it when you start this thing. Here, as I mentioned, there's Android Auto, there's navigation. Can't show navigation, they actually took that chip out. So You have to pay for it if you want to get the navigation in the car. It's got heated seats, ventilated seats. The climate control is pretty cool. You adjust it by turning these little rings to adjust, and this is automatic climate control. This is, like I said, this is a 10-speed transmission. You have the paddle shifters up here. You have different driving modes, which I'm gonna cover that here a bit later. Traction control, electronic parking brake, power outlet here. Not much storage as far as the center console. There is a USB port and an auxiliary port back in this little panel. 2 cup holders. And the glove box is nicely damped. Auto dimming rear mirror up top with garage controls. Got 2 LED map lights, reading lights. OnStar. Dual vanity LED. Nice soft LED looks like. Let's see around here. Cover this again. There is a memory seat option, and door handle. Both windows are power, auto up and down, electronic rearview mirrors. This is a Bose audio system. It sounds pretty good actually. I don't mind the sound system. I have no complaints with it. Nice bass, got good mids and highs. Let's go through here in the infotainment system. Let's see, you got your audio. I have no device connected, but here's your, if you had XM radio. And of course, this like some people have paired. There's a home button. The car has a Wi-Fi hotspot. You can go in here, you can change different things such as applications, voice, sound system, things like that. You got your apps. So what I noticed too with the auto heated and auto cooled seat, but I know when I jump into the car first thing in the morning, the heated seat is on. I didn't turn it on. I didn't use remote start or anything, but the heated seat is on. Now, when I had a passenger, they sat down, somehow it detected there was a passenger and it turned it on. And depending on how cold the car is inside, tells which level. Sometimes it's at level 1, sometimes it's level 2, and occasionally level 3. So works really well as far as auto. I think it's pretty cool because you don't have to really activate it. It just automatically is there. So I'm assuming the summertime is probably do the same thing by ventilating the seats automatically for you. And of course, you got driving mode. Like steering looks like it's just automatically selected based on the mode selector. Looks like you can configure that separately. Collision detection system. So it's got rear park assist, rear camera, lane change alert. So basically, it's got blind spot monitoring, and the blind spot on this car works really well. It gives me advanced detection, can tell me when a rapidly approaching car is coming up, and very helpful in a car like this because this car does have a lot of blind spots. I mean, look at that. You can't see anything. These windows are little, the mirrors are little, the seat, you just really, like, this car, you really have to be aware of surroundings, like continuously checking your mirrors, knowing what's around you at all times. Reverse tilt mirror. This is like, mirror tilts in reverse for backing up parallel parking so you don't curve these wheels. Teen driver. Valley mode. Okay. The remote lift in vehicles, that's when if I leave the car with the keys in it, it will sound the horn like a couple times, let me know, like, hey, you forgot the keys, and the engine's running, or the keys are sitting in the car. You shut the door. Moving over here, you have your steering wheel controls, cruise control. You can choose your for collision warning distance by setting that here, and you can choose how, if you want early warning, medium, or low detection, or you just want to turn it all the way off. So I recommend I like to just kind of keep it in medium setting. If you're on a track or something like that, I can recommend turning it off. You get your heated steering wheel button here, and it turns on like a small LED. Bluetooth options are here. Audio controls down here on the bottom of the steering wheel. There is in the SS. Wheel is leather wrapped, nice feel to it. Not as thick as what I would say for BMWs, but it does have a nice feel. The headlights are fully automatic, which means if the headlights are switches in auto position, obviously it's going to shut off at dusk and dawn. However, if your wipers are in an intermittent setting or low, it's going to activate the headlights in addition for safety reasons. You have a heads-up display. I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up or not, but there is a heads-up display there. It shows RPM, shows G-forces, so speed and gear. In here, by using the selector on the wheel, I can look at the trip. It can tell me this car does have cylinder deactivation, so if you're cruising, it switch over to 4-cylinder mode, and if you're obviously need more power, it's going to switch over to V8 mode. Oil life, tire pressures, lap timer, speed limit. Might have accidentally locked the car, but we're sitting here in the Camaro. Like I mentioned, lateral support, very good lateral support in this car. What I noticed from being in Mustang and then the Challenger is I'm sitting down into a little capsule. I have little tiny windows sitting up. I have a dashboard. I have a tiny windshield to look out. This car it's a little difficult to drive, maneuver around, knowing that there's so much like car around you. And I mean, it's like it feels like this car's bigger than what it is when you're driving behind the driver's seat. When I'm looking over my shoulder and check the blind spot, I realize that I have a little tiny window and I really can't see. So, and I have little tiny side view mirrors too. These mirrors are little. I'm climbing to the back seat because I've done it for all the reviews. I'm gonna leave the seat position, my normal seat position, and we'll see how I fit back here. My feet in here. Let's bring the camera a little bit closer. There you go. And let's pull the seat back. All right. So I don't know if you can tell. I am sitting more elevated back here, but definitely this is a place for children. My head is hitting. I can't keep my head straight with this back seat. No cup holders or anything. This is just a panel. Like I said, I'm sitting back here. It's tight. My feet are tight. I'm actually feeling a little bit of claustrophobia just sitting back here, so I'm just gonna jump out now. Truck room is not that big here, so it takes a little bit of wiggle room to get a suitcase in here. And so maybe a small little carry-on here, or one tucked back inside. I don't know if I can flip the suit. But yeah. The opening is really small. That's the hard part about this. Take a look at this engine. In addition is the strut tower bar that's been added. Like I said, I mentioned that it has an aftermarket intake, and the aftermarket exhaust, and it's even got another nameplate here. Now this car, I mean, when I rented this car, I had to go through a full, thorough inspection with it. Not like a typical when you just grab the keys and go. You did have to go through an inspection. and you can just look around all the different items in here. This car is going to go for a lot of money once Hertz sells these cars out. Imagine they probably won't put a lot of miles on them before they mileage them out and sell them. I was impressed how quick this thing accelerates, especially when you're on the highway. And I punched it around like 50 miles an hour, and this thing just kept pulling and shifting, and I was, all the gears, it just felt like it was endless amount of acceleration. Okay, traction and stability is off. I'm going to try to modulate myself and see what I can do. Love the sound. Like how it keeps downshifting, it picks right gear. It used to be where, love that. It used to be a point where you get an automatic and you would go drive aggressively through the curves, and it would not be not hold the right gear. You had to floor it in order to get the kick down, and it made you crave a manual. With this car, it's not as bad. It's actually works really well. As far as that was a state trooper. Oh man, I'm glad that I was not pushing it through that turn there. Oh man. Yeah, I was looking at, is that a Charger? And sure enough, it was a state trooper. But what I was saying before is, it does not make you want to push it more as far as flooring it. It gives it a nice, good experience. When I downshift, I'm slowing down, I don't have to use any paddle shift. There's actually the car's detecting, hey, I'm slowing down for a curve, so it's automatically trying to select the best gear for the exit, and that is good. I liked it. I like how, as technology advances, automatic transmissions they're just coming better, and I can see why some manufacturers are just kind of like offering less manuals. I think the manuals are still good for the driving experience, and actually, if I had this car myself, if I had to own this car, I would still buy it in a manual. And I don't know why. There are certain things about these that where I feel like certain cars I feel like it's gotta be better in manual. Some cars I think the automatic's better. So like my M3, for example, I don't know why, but I feel like the DCT fits that car better. Just my personal preference. This car, I feel like that the manual, like in the Z06 Corvette, the same thing. I feel like the manual just fits those cars better. Mustang, the manual's the perfect transmission for it. So it all depends what you want. Like I said, if you're going for all-out speed, I can see why this 10-speed now would be quick. All right, that state trooper's back. Not sure. Yeah, there he is again. Man, he turned around. It's the hard part about this car. Probably made a lot of noise, and I'm sure somebody probably called.